Let's zoom tonight. Yo, what's cracking, my people? Welcome to yet another episode of ADQ'S Renaissance. I'm your host with the most, keeping it 100 from coast to coast. Through God, I boast. ADQ. It is Thursday, September the 24th, 2020. It is a wonderful day. It has been a great day, very productive day. My beard is getting bigger. I'm starting to look like Roast. Yeah, look at my beard. Look at my locks. I'm doing my thing non-stop. I hope that everybody's doing well and stuff. Before we get into this particular episode, I want to start off on a serious note. All right. I'm going to say this, and then we're going to put our qualms, our anger to the side for the moment, so we can talk theater, have fun, and talk theater. So one officer is going to be tried, charged in the Breonna Taylor case. Yeah, man. As with her, both from John, it's now getting to the point where they could just bust in your house and kill you. It done got there. America, listen. My people, friends, family, everybody. We would like to think that we are part of a changing, elevating society. Well, the reality is America is no more, no less racist than was 65 years ago when Emmett Till was pulled from his bed in the midnight hours, lynched, dismembered. You know what I'm saying? Attached to a cotton gin, 14-year-old boy. And why did he even get in trouble? Why did people even come after him? Because a white woman accused him of sweet talking her, whistling at her, whatever. I don't care what it was. It wasn't enough to kill a 14-year-old boy. You know what I'm saying? Who wasn't even from Mississippi. That's where it went down, Mississippi. America ain't no less racist than 2012 when Oscar Grant was on a bus, just partying with his friends, trying to enjoy New Year's Eve. Cop killed him. America ain't no less racist than 1992 when Rodney King got the dog crap beat out of him. Oh, by the way, the people who murdered and defamed Emmett Till were acquitted. The officers who beat the dog snot out of Rodney King were acquitted. George Zimmerman got off. He was acquitted, but found not guilty. The dude who killed Philando Castile, while Philando Castile was reaching into his glove compartment to pull out his gun permit, told the officer, and this was all taped too, told the officer that he has a gun permit and he's going to reach for it. Officer blew him up, basically. Officer didn't get in no daggone trouble. So this is why, while you're all planning your marches, you're all planning your protests, you're all about to throw back up the Black Lives Matter hashtag, it's why I sit here and I'm not surprised, yo. I'm pissed about it. I'm pissed. I'm not surprised. America is a country that was founded upon by bloodshed. People went into Puritans, Europeans came into this land that was already occupied by natives and some native blacks. Killed them in cold blood. Took the land. Went to other lands. Kidnapped people. Went to other lands, kidnapped people, and brought them here to work and build this country. And I want to know, somebody please tell me, at what point in American history was a black person who was unjustly killed, was especially when their murderer was a law enforcement officer, when was their murderer ever brought to full justice, put under the jail like they deserve? And don't say Amber Geiger, they slapped that woman on the wrist. 10 years, come on, man. And I know that the narrative is going to turn into, well, we got to get out and vote. We got to get out and vote. We got to get out and vote. Black people are going to continue to be disproportionately marginalized and killed unjustly, no matter who's in that White House. Whether it's Trump, Biden, Kanye West, whoever, it's still going to happen. It's in the fabric of American history. So what do we do about it? This is what we do about it. Normally, I start off in the Bible, right? I go into the word. This ain't the word. It's a good word, though. This is a good word. Miseducation of the Negro. One passage says, written by Carl G. Woodson, he says, history shows that it does not matter who is in power or what revolutionary forces take over the government. Those who have not learned to do for themselves and have to depend solely on others never obtain any more rights or privileges in the end than they had in the beginning. So how do we combat this? How do we combat this? We need to come together as a people, for one thing. We need to come together. We need to hold the elected officials to task. We need to come from them pockets, man. We need to come for them pockets. You know what I'm saying? We need to unite. We need to fight. I don't think that march is going to do anything. I don't think that march and protest is going to do anything because they know that we mad. They know that we pissed. They know that we're going to whip out the Black Lives Matter hashtags. Black lives do matter. All lives do matter. Well, do they? Do Klan lives matter? Do Nazi lives matter? Anyway, y'all. We're about to let in my guests, and we're about to talk theater. We're going to have fun. We're going to laugh. We're going to reminisce on great theater times. But speaking as a man who's been stopped by cops multiple times, approached by cops multiple times in my 35 years on this earth, I don't have an answer. And I hate to say, hey, I put it this way, man. My man Mananza, brother from South Africa, he doesn't even want to touch American soil because he's afraid of coming here and getting killed. Cast all worries and cares unto the Lord, but faith without works is dead. So what's the move? Y'all tell me. I do what I can do. All right, y'all. Let's get now. Let's put that to the side. Let's talk theater. Let's have some fun, all right? All right, let's get into ADQ's Renaissance. Now, who we got here in the waiting room? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, join us again on ADQ's Renaissance for the second time ever. Miss Angie. And join us for the first time over in Zumba mode, my man Alex Lewis. Why in the world is he wearing them? Why in the world he's wearing them short daggone shorts? I have no clue. But yeah, they about to join us on ADQ's Renaissance. Waiting for Miss Angie, waiting for a couple more people. And Alex has said he will be right back. Hey, I'm saying I couldn't wear shorts that daggone short. You know what I'm saying? If you ever saw me in shorts that daggone short, you will wish blindness on yourself. For real. Miss Angie, are you there? See, Miss Angie knows that she's beautiful. You see her, do y'all see her screen? It's a picture of herself. See, when you know that you're beautiful, when you know you got it going on, you do that. All right, Tiffany Person. Tiffany Person just entered the room.
Are you talking about me? I heard you from across the room.
I called you beautiful.
I know you did. You better have.
How you doing, Miss Angie?
I'm doing all right. How you doing, baby?
I'm blessed, black, and highly favored up in these streets.
Okay. You feeling better today?
I am. See, we were supposed to do the interview on Monday, but I was sneezing and stuff. I don't have COVID. I promise I don't have COVID. But I was sneezing. I took like 2 Benadryls, store brand Benadryl at that, and knocked me plumb out.
Well, sometimes we need to be knocked out so we can be refreshed.
And I was very refreshed when I got up. Which I still had some effects of it. I was like, dang it, Benadryl, I slept long enough. But Tiffany Person just joined us. Tiffany, what's up?
Hey, I'm coming in. I'm gonna come in from my laptop too, so I can charge my phone up. So I'm getting ready to come off of here and then come on my laptop.
Do your thing. I'm doing the same thing.
Okay.
Now,
but hey,
those,
how are y'all?
Like I said, I'm blessed, black, and highly favored up in these streets.
I know that's right.
Well, I just finished working because while I've been waiting for my jobs to reopen, I've been working for the census. And I forgot that when I did this 20 some odd years ago, that I was in my 30s.
You're still in your 30s.
No, I look like I'm in my 30s. Okay, but I'm not in my 30s.
What? You're not in your 30s, Miss Angie? Oh my goodness.
Yes, baby. Sorry. I'm sorry to be the one to have to break it to you. I might look it, but it ain't happening.
Well, I'm hoping I look that way when I hit your age in like 2 years.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure. 2 years. But remember though, baby, black don't crack.
No, it don't. Absolutely not. Now, Miss Angie, you're actually coming back. You're actually here on ADQ's Renaissance for the second time, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And for those of you all who haven't heard the interview, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, Miss Angie, tell them what you all about. Tell them what you do here in Greensboro.
Oh wow, I do so much in Greensboro. It's amazing that all of my jobs stopped at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. But first of all, I am part owner of Scrap Metal Entertainment, which is a theatrical film company where we train as well as do original works. We write, we direct, we produce, we have actors and all that kind of stuff. We've been in business and been around for 15 plus years. I also work for City Arts, which is now called Creative Greensboro, and also the Parks and Recreation Department of the city of Greensboro as well, with youth programming, adult programming, with theater for both youth and adults, those types of things that I've been doing. I'm also a teacher at GTCC, which has not completely reopened yet because I teach adults with special needs. So they're kind of being treated like the elderly that are in living facilities. They can't come out yet. So we've gotten some who've come out, because they live with their families. So it has limited how many teachers can come back. So I haven't yet, been back to that yet. And so, like I said, I do all those different things. I write, act, produce, we teach. Scrapmetal.net. That's SCRAPMETTLE.net. We have a Facebook page, Instagram page, Twitter page. We also have our own website. And we also have scrap metal table readers if you would like to be somebody who would like to read. And we are doing virtual classes. If anybody want to do classes, we're giving discounts from what we normally would charge because we know everybody is struggling in COVID. Thanks to our illustrious leader.
Right.
I just say it like that. Other than that, just well-rounded person who tries to make a difference in the community, and I like to use my art in order to be one of the bases that I do that, as well as teaching and mentoring, especially to kids and women, especially young women, because I've been through quite a few things myself in my life. And if had not been for the village, I would be in trouble. I know I'm from that generation of where the last villages started falling apart. And I appreciate the village because now I understand how important it was for those other women and men that were in our lives that helped to try to show us something when it was not our families, because sometimes our families are not capable of being able to give us what we need.
Very true. And Miss Angie, I'll say I'm not a woman or a child, but you have definitely taken me up under your wing and taught me a thing or two.
Well, that's what elders are here for. Is to pass the knowledge on to the youngsters. I mean, because our stupid mistakes can be your don't do that.
Yes. I like that. Tiffany.
Yes. I'm just gonna get on my phone because I don't know what's going on. So okay, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Oh, trust us, we know technology is it's special. But you looking good, girl. Okay.
Now, Tiffany, Miss Tiffany Person here is out of the A, coming straight from the ATL.
Can you hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So you straight, so you come straight from the ATL?
Yes, but I'm from North Carolina though.
Oh, so you one of us?
Yes.
Yes, I am. I just moved here last year.
And right now you are pushing a book called Eliza's Guardian Angel, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so give us some of your theater background, some of your creative works, creative background.
Okay, well, I'm a writer. I've been writing since I was a preteen, and I started out with poems, like doing poems for funerals, for birthday parties, family functions. Then it led to skits. Then I did like skits for like different churches and things like that. And then my writing led to stage plays. So I have wrote like numerous stage plays. Some of my plays is The Waiting Room, Church Meeting Gone Wrong. That's a comedy. The Gift of Yes. I wrote like different plays for different things that was going on in my church. It was for Father's Day, Mother's Day, the Christmas bus stop, a Christmas play. I wrote so many plays, and I do have a play coming out hopefully after this Rona is over with. It's called The Inbox. And that play, yes, that play consists of, well, you know, when you're in a relationship or when you're married, and so say somebody from your past, your ex, girlfriend, boyfriend, or whoever hit you up, and so either you're going to entertain it or you're going to shut it down. So that's where the inbox come from. Is, you know, if you entertain it, then you know it's going to be some consequences. So if you shut it down, then you can save your relationship. You can maybe save your marriage. So I know a lot of people is dealing with that now and before, because of somebody from their past hit them up, you know, and plus that came from a personal experience too as well.
Okay.
And I have another play coming out. I'm sorry, say what now?
Well, I just said, okay, I was with you.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I got another play out. It's hopefully come out next year too. It's called The Prodigal Son. And you know, they talk about the prodigal son in the Bible and everything like that. So it's kind of like that, but it's my twist to it. It's like a little remix to it. So I have that coming out as well. And like you just said, I have a book just came out in September, but I wrote the book in 2016. It's called Eliza's Guardian Angel. It's a children's book.
Wow.
I love that, because Scrap Metal, we have our own section called Blueprints that we do where we focus on the kids, and a lot of times it's adaptations of books, or we let them write their own stories. So I'm really feeling that. I'm looking forward to seeing your stuff when you let it out there for all of us.
Oh yeah, well it's out. It's out. Well, my book is out and available on Amazon right now. And I just had my book signed. I went back home to North Carolina because I'm from a little town called Robbins. I don't know if y'all heard of that or not, but
I heard Robbins, Batman's homeboy.
Oh gosh, yeah,
no,
I'm from Kinston.
Robin.
Yeah, I'm from Kinston, so you know what I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. So it's kind of like an hour, maybe 45 minutes to an hour from Greensboro. And so, but I just came home last weekend to do my book signing there for Eliza's Guardian Angel. So now I'm in the process of having a Eliza's Guardian Angel writing contest. It's going to be for the children for the ages of 10 to 15. And so my book is basically about the, you know, treating people with respect, of no matter how they look, how they dress, you always got to treat people with respect. And so that's one of the characters. She was like the popular girl in school, whose name is Eliza. She was very popular. And so she thought that, you know, she was too glamorous. She thought, can nobody dress like her and nobody can be like her. So she was being mean to her friends. And that's how she lost a lot of her friends, because of her behavior towards them. And so that's when Angel comes in. So Angel meets her, and Angel turns her whole world upside down. So that's what's kind of my writing contest going to be about. Is the question is, why is it important to treat everyone with respect, regardless of their race, their religion, and their appearance? So that's the writing contest, and there's going to be a cash prize and Eliza's Guardian Angel gift set too as well.
So all my people out there in Georgia, listening to that, yo, make sure to take notes. And I think that's beautiful. It's very beautiful to teach kids theater, like whether they continue to do theater throughout the rest of their life, or if it's just like a one hit quitter. Still they learn skills from theater. They learn how to collaborate. They learn discipline. They learn how to commit themselves to a project. They learn how to work with well, that's collaborating. I'm tripping. They learn how to come together as a team, like different parts, right? Like one thing I had learned the hard way from Miss Angie and from my friend Mike Burke there's literally no small roles. There's only small people. If you are in the show, you play an integral part in one way or another. Right, Miss Angie?
That's exactly right. Because when we did the reading of Tartuffe, um, it's a French play, and we did a table read of it. And there was a role there for a maid who took care of everybody in the household. But because it was a read through, all we could do was read the directions of what she was doing, but she was still a critical part of that play. She had no lines, but she knew how to take care of everybody, what to bring everybody, how to take care of her. If she had been on, it had been on stage, she would have stood out. And the actress who could have pulled that off without any lines would have been phenomenal, because she was still bringing attention to herself without taking attention from the leads, but yet showing how important her character was, even though she had nothing to say. It was what she was doing.
That's good.
Oh yeah. Now just let everybody know we got two more who are joining us. Whenever they whenever the Lord touches their heart to bring them on. Alex Lewis coming out of Cary, another North Carolinian, and Mackenzie Goodwin, I believe she's coming out of Kansas. So they'll be joining us. But for right now, um, yeah, like anybody who was fresh in the theater, if they're like doing what Stanislavski did at the beginning and like trying to emulate their favorite actors, they'll probably look at a role. If they get like a small role, they'll look at it and be like, I'm just doing this. That's it.
Right.
Nothing.
Now, I know that's a style and a method, but me personally, I don't like that. And I will tell people who are working with me, other actors who are working with us with scrap metal, I will tell them, do not go online and try to copy what you see somebody else do, because you're not them. And you're not going to give the same delivery. All you're going to do is beat yourself up when you don't feel like you have lived up to what they have done. You need to do a character analysis. You need to find out who the character is, how the character lives, how the character flows, even if you have to imagine it or make up the things for that character if the director or the script does not give you enough information. It's better for you to come from a real standpoint, from how you see them and feel them, than to try to copy somebody else, because you're not them and you're not going to do it the way that they do it. I don't care what you try to do. It's not going to work that way. You have to come and bring your own freshness. And freshness is good because you yourself bring something to the table in that character. It may be something that you can relate to, where the other person who did it was just pretending. You may have actually went through it and have something more or better to give to it.
I agree. Tiffany, have you ever encountered a situation like that? Someone tripping over a small role or someone trying to copy their favorite actor?
The small role, yes. I had one actor. He was like, "This is all I get." Like, really, seriously? I'm like, "Yes, you have to crawl before you walk." So, this part right here could take you to bigger parts. Just, do this part. And so then, we'll see what you got and what you have the next time. But after all of that, he was grateful. He was like, wow, I really did that. So, but he kind of tripped a little bit, but after he done it so many times, he was good with it.
Let me tell y'all, let me tell those who are watching this a little something about this whole notion of small roles. Okay, so I have been doing theater on a consistent basis since 2008, right? Excuse me, coffee. Anyway, um, I've done live theater on multiple spectrums. I have experience. I think that I've proven that I can act, right? But but I'm going to be in a play soon called The Next Station. It's part of the Little Theater in Winston-Salem 10-minute plays. Now I got a whole play that I'm putting up that Miss Angie's in. I got a whole play that I'm putting up November 6th. It'll be my third play that I put up. So I've done things, but this play, The Next Station, guess how many lines I got in it?
How many?
0. So do I look at myself and be like, oh well, dang, I ain't got no lines, man. That means I'm a small role. I'm just an extra. I'm atmosphere. No, that's not what I am. What I am is I'm part of the scene. If I wasn't there with the other actors down there with, then you just have a woman who's like talking to herself or trying to go through the motions. The scene of the world of the play has to be set. And I'm like, that's my job right there, to do that and take every direction from the director.
I remember one of the first shows that I saw at UNCG. It was Jesus Christ Superstar. And I did that show when I was in high school, so I already knew the show and all that. So I was really excited about going to see the show. And when I got there was this one young white man who was one of the dancers, because, it's a musical. He was so phenomenal that every time they came out with the group number, that was who you were looking for. You wanted to see him and see what he was going to do. He had not one line. He was in the chorus, all of that. He upstaged everybody through every scene that he was in because he was so magnificent. Even if they had lines, he was just so great and so graceful, and he knew every step, every point, every turn. He was dead on. And I found myself, and I didn't realize until afterwards that the people who I was with about 6 people. Everybody was focused on him. Everybody was waiting to see what was he going to do next, that they forgot about the rest of the story because he was just that much of a standout from being an extra. So that's why I always say there's no small parts. You never know what's going to happen. I remember I was in what's the name of it? It's Huckleberry Finn, but they call it something else in the play form. I can't think of
mini event.
I can't think of. I probably think of it by the time I'm finished. But there was 2 lines in that show that I had, and I hadn't been in Greensboro that long, and it was in High Point, Big River. It was called Big River. But it was about Huckleberry Finn and Jim the slave and their connection together and all that kind of stuff. I only had 2 lines. And it was, he's over there on ice talking about the colonel being dead, who was the plantation owner and all this kind of stuff. But the delivery that I did got so many laughs and things that I became part of the lead characters coming out after the lead characters take a bow. I got a bow every night, standing ovation and everything for 2 lines just because of the delivery. And I was like, it won't but nothing but 2 lines. I'm like, what is they clapping for? Why is they tripping? And then as I went to go out to meet the audience members, they were just talking about the fact of how funny it was, how that it took them by surprise, and the shock that it was a funeral, and and the way I delivered it. I would have never thought that 2 lines would have gotten me there. But of course, that was when I was a young actor too, and so it made me realize you can't worry about whether you got lines or not. It's what you're doing on stage at that time to bring that character alive, which is why, and I do it, Adrian, everybody needs to do a character analysis on who their character is. I don't care if who are you? Where did you come from? How old are you? Why are you here? These kind of things. And it does read from the stage, and you think it doesn't, but it really does.
Right.
It does. So Tiffany, tell me this. How do you go about creating your characters?
what I do is before I even write anything that's like with books or anything, I always pray. I pray and I say, God, you give me what I need, and He do just that, And so my mind is so, it creative. It expands to another level. I can't explain it, but I know y'all probably would know. But it's just I pray about it, and so because like for my book, I wrote my children's book in one day. I wrote it in one day,
What?
and so
1 day?
1 day.
24
Yes.
hours?
Huh?
24 hours?
Yes, less than 24 hours.
I feel challenged right now.
Yeah, so I wrote it in 1 day, but anything that I write, I just pray about it. And I said, God, you give me everything that I need. You give me the characters, you give me just whatever, the scenes, everything, and He do just that. So, and that's what I tell people. They was like, well, how you do this? How you do that? And I said, I go into prayer. I pray about it, ask God whatever give me what I need, and He do it, and He just do it for me. And then I just start writing or start typing.
Wow. That's what sometimes that's all you need. Now, joining the conversation. Coming on ADQ's Renaissance for the first time, my man Alex Lewis. He was a co-host of the very short-lived little pint existence of ADQ's Stage Door. But you know what? We decided to take that concept into theatrical discussions. He's wearing a shirt that says Theater Strong. Miss Tiffany, Miss Angie meets my man Alex Lewis. Alex, what's up, man?
Hey, how are you?
Man, I'm blessed, black, and highly favored in these streets.
Wait, what?
I said I'm blessed, black, and highly favored in these streets.
Got you. Sorry, I just finished a Zumba class, and I'm just like, quick change. Ha. But
quick change.
Good.
Quick change. That's one thing that we know about in theater, right? Everybody, quick change.
Right.
I heard a little bit of the conversation, but go ahead. Sorry.
Well, we were talking about how Tiffany here, who is in Atlanta, but she's a North Carolinian like we are. How she creates and develops her character, like where she gets the inspiration from. Before that, we were talking about the fake notion of small roles, which are very much non-existent, right? So let's back up here. Alex, tell the people about yourself.
Alex Lewis. I'm a local actor here in the Triangle. I have been doing theater since 2016, and I'm originally from Panama City, Panama, so that's where the accent comes from. And I'm represented by KU Talent in Raleigh, North Carolina. And just been auditioning and, deal with COVID, the new normal that we have. Just kind of make the best out of everything.
So, tell people some of your theatrical experience. Like, what have you been involved in?
So I have been in Black Nativity with the Justice Theater Project. I did that twice, and I recently auditioned for that. So we'll see. Hopefully, finger crossed. And I have worked with Raleigh Little Theater. I did two shows with them. The Women Theater Festival and Solas Theater. And those are the ones that pop into my head as of now. But I'll carry players. So I have done Black Nativity, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor. Let me go back. Little Woman. Yeah, Black Nativity like twice. And Junie B. Jones, the musical, Cinderella, and more that I cannot think of right now, but yeah.
So, you mentioned Black Nativity. I think we're all familiar with Black Nativity, right?
Mm-hmm.
we can all agree that Langston Hughes is the man.
Yes.
We can also agree that Black Nativity is another example of why some pieces need to stay in the theater and nowhere near the silver screen, right? Raise your hand if you've seen the movie.
And it was awful.
Angie, Miss Angie, I'm sorry, I have to disagree with you on that one.
I'm
It was not
sorry.
awful. It was god awful. It was
It was
horrible.
awful.
2 hours of my life that I will never get back.
Right.
If I duck in and out, just want to say it's not that I'm ignoring anybody. I'm trying to feed my husband. He works hard, so I'm trying to get him fed before it's his bedtime.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Don't
cool.
worry. I'm low key eating while you guys talk, but I'm listening.
Okay. But no, it was awful. I didn't feel like the movie really connected to the show at all, because that particular piece, it went from our stealing, if you would, you want to call it, from us being stole, to the Middle Passage, to the plantation, all the way to what we do now and what we believe in Christianity and all of that. And the movie did not show that. It did not show those particular things. And I really feel like that particular play, I'm with you on that one, Adrian. It needs to stay on the stage because it shows all of the transformations that we went through. And the movie did not, but we already know why. It was about capitalism, not about the true depiction. And they knew it was going to make money, because I don't care where you are, when Christmas time comes, Black Nativity is being shown everywhere. Everybody's doing it. They know it makes money. So I think that they jumped on it thinking that they could make money from it, and they did. But they messed it up.
And look at the names that were attached to it. See, this is where one could argue about name value. Forrest Whitaker, Angela Bassett, Nas. How often do you see Nas acting?
But you have to realize that for them, this was a check.
True.
Yeah.
It was a check. It wasn't about something that they was truly behind or any of that. And they are not thespians. Okay, they're not thespians. They didn't do this show when they was 12. They didn't do this show when they were in college. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do this show with community theater when they was giving up their time for free.
True.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So for them, it was a check. They was going to get this extra money because of their name was going to draw people to the box office.
Okay, so I'll tell you someone who... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
I'm just saying, so you have to look at it that way too, because you also have to remember that this is a business.
True.
It's still a business.
Well, speaking of business, I will tell you the name that was on the business side of it. Another big name, TD Jakes.
TD Jakes ain't no business side of this. They called him and said, you know what, Pastor, your books is selling, you teaching people mentally and all this, and you giving them Jesus. And guess what? We're going to put you on film and put you in here, and we're going to let you preach this thing. And the next thing you know, he got caught up in that and forgot what the Lord led him to do.
The Lord is not going to lead anybody to put something that bad on film. Yes,
they will do it. Yes, they will, and they will say that Jesus sent them to do it.
Right.
And sometimes the Lord will, so that He's trying to show you, don't do this again. Okay, you know what I'm saying, or show you what your limitations are. I mean, I've had mine. Trust me, the Lord done whooped me a many times. You know what I'm saying? But the thing with it is that he got caught up in the money thing. He was already a mega church. You know what I'm saying? So he was already used to the money, already used to the glam. And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking him, his hustle. I'm not knocking where he may be spiritually, because I don't know where he is spiritually, because I don't know him personally. I'm a country girl. I can't do the mega church.
Right, Miss
Need to walk.
Angie.
I need to walk in the church and the pastor say, "Where you been, Sister Tripp? I ain't seen you."
Yes.
Even though I'm mad that he done called me out,
Mm-hmm.
but he know my name.
Right.
But if I got 1,000, 10,000 people in the church, you don't know who those people are. I don't have a personal relationship with my pastor. And when I do have a relationship with him or come to him, I have to give him a fee to sit down and talk to him.
Ooh, you better say that, Miss Angie.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I don't have to do that. At St.
Right.
Thomas Chapel, I ain't been since the whole pandemic. I done missed every outdoor ceremony because I was trying to work, trying to get a little change. But I know when I go back up at St. Thomas Chapel, Bishop is going to say, "Well, Lord have mercy. Sister Tripp is in the house. How you doing today?" Am I going to be embarrassed? Yes, I'm going to be embarrassed. But he knows who I am. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? The elders know who I am. The mothers of the church know who I am. The ushers know who I am. You know what I'm saying? When I come through that door, so to me, it is a little bit different, and maybe it is because I'm country, but and like I say, I'm not trying to knock him and not saying that he's not a man of God because I don't know him like that to say that. But I will say that he got caught up into the capitalism of the white folks with making the money, making expansions, and all of those types of things. When what he didn't realize is that he already had it anyway, and the Lord blessed him with it, and he really didn't even need to go into all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, and that's just my opinion. But even like I said, even though I might not like it, but when I go through there and Sister Iris be like, "Well, I ain't seen you in a while." I said, "How you doing this morning, Sister Iris?" And I take my little program, my envelope, and I go sit down because I know that's what she gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that because if I call and say I need prayer, they hook up a prayer line.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They hook up a prayer line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to pay for no prayer line. I don't have to do nothing special or anything like that. But like again, I say I'm not knocking him from what he's doing because he was doing this way long before he became a mega church, way long before he started writing books, way long before all of this, and the Lord put a special blessing on him. But I do still believe that he kind of got caught up in all of the other stuff, which we all do. And sometimes we have to reel ourselves in. You know what I'm saying? That's another country girl slang because I like to go fishing.
You know, you want to know, it's interesting. Like, it's interesting. You said usher. You said attendance. You said some other stuff, and that terminology kind of like proves even more how married church and theater are. Like church and theater have went hand in hand since the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
Now,
mean, there's characters everywhere you go. I don't care, even on your job.
yeah, me.
Everybody has a role to play. Everybody has a role to play. I don't care if it's your supervisor, the person that you're over. With me, I teach adults with special needs. Each one of my students have a different character, and I'm like, okay. Soon as this one guy said, "Oh Lord, he done had a rough night tonight, so I already know what it's gonna be today." Okay. Oh, I got 3 that's showing out. So that means I'm not teaching nothing today. All day long, it's going to be about them. It's not going to be about teaching. It's going to be about bringing them in, calming them down, getting them back in the space that they need to be in. So yeah, we all have roles that we have to play. Adrian, I don't know if you remember when we did our original show, scrapmetal.net, when we did Black Lives Matter the first time when it was Sandra Bland, and all those guys back during that time. One of the things that we discussed was code switching,
Really?
because when we go to work, we can't be who we are. We got to look a certain way. We got to talk a certain way. We have to act a certain way. You know, if you get upset or say anything wrong, then all of a sudden you're the angry black woman or you're the angry black man. And all you did was just really voice your opinion or ask too many questions and that they don't have the answers to. So, yes, theater does cross over into the fact that we play these roles, but some people don't even realize they're playing the roles. It's survival.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna
Well,
stop. I'm gonna stop talking because if y'all don't cut me out, I'll be talking forever. I'm gonna be quiet.
I'm not gonna cut you off, but I will segue into our other addition to this conversation. Her name is Mackenzie Goodwin Tran. We're gonna let her in,
Hi,
but
Mackenzie.
she's not in. Well, she's not in yet. She's coming though. Alex, I'll tell you, man, if you ever decide to like come to Greensboro and do some work, Miss Angie and the fine people over at Scrap Mill, they'll take good care of you.
Yes,
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
gonna send Miss Angie a friend request.
Well,
Yes, me too.
well, Tiffany, I suggest sending her some of your works and stuff. Shoot, expand your. Well, you're in Atlanta, but still, bring some of yourself home.
Yes,
Atlanta ain't but 5 hours.
right.
Oh, 6 hours.
Home is where
Anyway,
the heart is.
That's right.
I,
Are you with us,
It's
Miss Tiffany? Or
only
did
5 hours.
did we lose you?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can
I
hear you,
could
Tiffany.
hear her.
Okay, I thought we had lost you.
No, I was saying home is where the heart is. So I'm always looking to come home.
Yeah, it's funny you said that you're like your home is like an hour and a half from Greensboro. Me and Miss Angie are in Greensboro right now.
Hmm.
And as much theater as I do, I would actually love to go back to my country hometown, Shelby, and do a show there, and then leave just as fast as I came.
I do
So,
understand because I don't think Kingston is ready.
nah. Alex. So, we all know how it's booming out in Atlanta. Me and Miss Angie, we know the theater scene here in Greensboro. Tell us about the theater scene over in the Raleigh Durham area, over in the 919.
Well,
Well,
it's it's getting there. It's getting there. I have seen that uh, local community theaters, obviously because of the obvious reasons of the virus, they're going on to doing like a one-man show or a one-woman show to get still get some sort of theaters. And I've seen that some theaters are going into doing pre-recorded shows just to get the feeling going. Kind of like the most recent thing that I did was in Clayton with my friends from Solas Theater. They did a web series called Fairy Tale, and you should check it out on episode 1. Don't worry, you will not miss me.
I
But
need y'all
anyways,
to get better at selling your stuff. You need to push that book, push that series, push that theater. There you go. I am putting up a Prenda Espanol November
You
6th,
you you gotta you gotta
2020
yeah, you
on
gotta
YouTube.
push it. You gotta push it because on the
But
30th
anyway,
we
go
doing
ahead.
a table read for Nazi the Spider stories. You gotta push. You gotta push.
All
So
right, go ahead, Alex. Sorry about
in
that.
Raleigh, Alex, have you been to Theater in the Park or Raleigh Little Theater? Because I lived there for 15 years and worked there too.
yeah. So I haven't worked with theater in the park yet, but I have seen shows. I think one of the last shows that I saw in there was The Old Man and the Old Moon. But I have done 2 shows with Raleigh Little Theater, which they have been amazing. I love Raleigh Little Theater. I did Junie B. Jones, so I play a first grader. So you can kind of imagine when I got cast. Like I was like the only adult kid in the cast, which was funny because I'm like, okay, so I'm like 5'10" and a half. Well, 5'11", just round it up. And the kids are in between like 12 and 13 years old. And I'm like the 27, 5'11" guy performing as I'm a first grader. So it was really funny when we were having like the whole run of the show because of the fact that I forgot to shave and this grows really fast, more than this up here. I know, TMI, sorry. But so
I feel you. That's why I had to get rid of mine.
so
Both y'all look great.
yes, you guys look great. So sorry, I lost my thought for a second. That was great. You caught me off guard. That was great. Um, so the final show for Junie B. Jones, I forgot to shave. And once you're sitting as an audience member, there's certain things you cannot look with makeup because it's like but it blends with the lights. So it was funny since it was a kid show. The look on the kids' faces was like, "Oh, you're not a like a huge kid. You're actually an adult." So that was kind of funny to look at the kids like, give me that look like, "Oh yeah, you completely ruined the illusion as soon as I saw you off stage." And I'm like, but it was a great show. And then last year I got to do Cinderella, which that was such a great adventure because there was like I haven't done like 22 shows like together in my whole theater experience. So it was very gratifying but challenging because when you have like the matinee show, you have two shows on a day, and then yeah, and yeah, that was. I mean, I love it. I love it like every single moment. I particularly prefer to do musicals myself, um, but I'm kind of trying to venture into more like drama. But yeah, that was great. I kind of miss it now, but yeah, it was. I play. What did I play? I was part of the ensemble, but the funny thing is that we just came for like two numbers, and with theater, I'm not a fan of makeup. Like
Really?
I don't know how to put in. I don't
Hate
know how to
makeup.
put in my.
I am one of those girls. I hate makeup, and the only time I wear it is when I'm on stage or film.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like makeup could be like really great. I'm just not good at it. Like there's some people I see they do some amazing things. I'm just not the type of guy that will be like, oh my gosh, let me put like yeah mascara and all of this. I'm like, put something on me and let's go. So in this particular show, I have to reapply makeup. So yeah, yeah,
I
that
know how
was.
to put it on, but I hate it because even in my everyday life, all I wear is lipstick. I'm like, I don't have time for it. It takes too much time.
Oh my gosh! Now that you say that, I have a funny thing with lipstick. So
Go
this is
ahead, man.
funny though. So for Cinderella, when we were doing the show, I didn't have the right like makeup kit. So I went like since the show was like where I was near NC State, and I went to the Target in there, and I'm like, okay, I'm like calling the girls in the show. I'm like, what foundation am I need to get? Because I got overwhelmed. You guys have all these like lines and like Revlon and all of this, and I'm like, I just need the cheapest makeup that I can find because this is just for the stage. So I got like there's like a liquid foundation and all these. I was like, wow. And then, long story short, I got like they're like, oh, you can try lipstick because like the makeup artist that was working with us, he was telling, oh, you can try lipstick. First time
When
I ever tried
look when it's
lipstick.
professional, you don't have to worry about that. They have everything for you. But I do understand your pain. But what you need to do in that aspect is that you need to take a young lady or young man who knows about makeup with you to find out what your foundation color is. Get your foundation color. What you need to make a natural lip for a man because it's different for a woman,
Mhm.
um and to get your stuff because yes, sometimes you need to bring out your eyebrows and your eyes with the mascara, but you need to get somebody to get that with you. And then once you get your color match, and really the brands is just like anything else. You know what I'm saying? Do you want Cottonelle or do you want Scott's? You know what I'm saying? It's still about the brand. Which one works better for you? Which one looks better for you? Which one works with your beard? Which one does not? You know, that kind of
Exactly.
stuff. And so you just have that stuff for you, because I have a whole kit with all my stuff ready for me, because I also do scars and and stuff, stuff like that. But
That's advanced theater makeup right there. Knowing how to do scars.
yeah, it ain't that deep as you think.
Oh,
And
I feel
old
the pleasure
age,
over there.
for old
It's
age, always keep you some baby powder around.
very
Okay.
powerful.
Always keep you some baby powder around. It will do your gray in your hair. It will help to make you look older in the face, those kinds of things. Um, Mackenzie, you finally got in here. Hey, hon.
Hi, I had
She has
technical
arrived at
difficulties.
last.
Hey.
So
How's it going? I'm so
Mackenzie,
sorry.
everybody.
yes, yes.
I
But
made it.
with the makeup, those are the kind of things that you want to do. And once you get your set stuff that you know that works for you, then you just have that with you all the time. Because I hate liquid, and I think that's because I don't like makeup, period. So I do powder. So you want to find you a good powder foundation that helps you with your blend in. And trust me, even if nobody go with you, if you go to the makeup counter, they will hook you up. Tell them, I got a show to do. I'm an actor and da da da, and I need to look natural. You want to say,
That's true.
always
Well,
say natural,
that's true.
unless you're doing a
Well,
character role where you need to look foolish.
Maybe I
well,
need to do
the
that too.
funny the funny thing with that, when because we had like a whole class, like they teach us and everything, and I recorded the whole thing because I'm like, oh, I gotta look back to it. I didn't look back to it. So literally, when we were like all, like the guys' dressing room, there was these guys that I'm like, do you know your makeup thing? So every time I look at them, and we have like a diagram and everything, and I'm like, I will look at them. I'm like, where do you get this and that? And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get the Neil or whatever makeup thing. It was a box that just come with the basic, and I'm like, this is what I'm gonna use. And they were like, "Oh, we got this lipstick," and I'm like, "I tried lipstick just one show, and it was like so creamy." I'm like, "Yeah, this is not for me." It was super. I don't know. I got the cheapest one now, so I got this, and I felt so weird. And
If
I'm
you
like,
don't want it, if you don't want to feel weird, you may have to pay a little bit more money. But cheap
"Oh,
will
I'm good."
still read. But cheap will still read what you want on film as well as on stage. Okay,
So
and you just have to remember that it's it's not about how much you paid for it, but what it shows to the audience. Okay, it's that kind of thing. And so yes, you're gonna have to get the mascara. You're gonna have to get the eyebrow liner and all this, because when you're doing old age, you gotta make the marks in your face and all,
mhm.
and you're looking
Yeah.
crazy, and you're like, oh my god, I look terrible. But to the audience, it looks beautiful, and you're over made up, all this 1972 blue eyeshadow and all this stuff, and they're loving it, and you look in the mirror going, oh my god, I can't go out here looking like.
Don't worry, they will
Now,
look at you at the end of the show when you're all dripping, and they're like,
Oh my, oh,
"Oh."
oh, yes. And you have to go out and meet your audience, and you trying to pat and trying to get some. No, you're gonna scare them. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
yeah,
If
why
you
it's
do
called to
if
give
you
them.
do a great performance, they're not gonna care what you look like when you come out.
Now that Mackenzie, now great makeup tips, Miss Angie. Now that Mackenzie has
Okay.
at last joined us, you didn't make an entrance, you made an entrance.
I have. I'm so sorry. I had some technical difficulties. The Zoom kept kicking me off. But I'm glad to be here now. Yes, and I agree. Some of the best lipsticks I ever had for the stage were like $1.
Okay, so pretty much you're saying, aha, Miss Angie, you don't have to spend that much money.
It's true.
But so Mackenzie, tell the world, tell the people who are watching about you.
My name is Mackenzie Goodwin Tran. I'm a director, actor. I run a venue here with my husband here in Kansas City, Missouri. And we host all kinds of performing arts in the community. We do burlesque, theater, stage readings, new works, workshops, parties, fundraisers, all that kind of thing at our venue. Obviously not right now. We haven't been able to for a little bit.
I
But
hate you, COVID. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, the feeling is mutual. It's not good, but yeah, and so I just recently directed my very first online play here with the Kansas City Public Theater. Which
Yeah,
actually I was,
congratulations.
thank you. I was so nervous about it because I had never done anything like that. But it was actually like it was a great success. And it was really cool to get to play with like a new medium. And luckily we had a local playwright who's amazing. And I was supposed to direct her play like live, you know, in a venue before all this happened. And then the play just happened to like be about talking to people online. So it actually was perfect for an online show. And so it went really well. Yeah. So that's mainly about me. Yeah.
Tiffany, when you are ready to put up one of your plays, who does the venue that you're about to put it up at, do they recommend a director, or do you find someone yourself?
To direct it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I directed myself.
Oh, you directed. See, I used to direct my own stuff. Alex, have you ever written and directed anything?
No, sorry, I'm not in that yet. Not yet. One day. Not yet. Not yet. Let me get my makeup situation first, and then we can go to that part. Okay, I'm taking notes from everybody here.
Done. You are writing and directing.
Mm-hmm.
So, the company that you own, Mackenzie, the Buffalo Room.
The Buffalo Room. That's right.
Now, my company, my little cul-de-sac that I'm coming up with is called Quarles and Associates. Why? Because obviously, you know, quarrels.
There you go.
And whoever rocks with me are my associates. Like right now, y'all are my associates. Tiffany, Alex, Miss Tiffany, Mackenzie. I mean, Miss Tiffany, Miss Angie, Mackenzie. Y'all are my associates right now. How did you come up with the Buffalo Room?
It's funny. My husband went to high school out in Garden City, Kansas, after being a refugee from Vietnam, and Garden City like really embraced its refugee community, and so he feels like a great deal of warmth to them. And they were the Buffaloes, the Garden City Buffaloes, and so as a nod to them, he wanted to name it the Buffalo Room. And instead of doing like a Buffalo Theater or the something theater space, you know, we really wanted to broaden it out as opposed to like something that was just about performance or like connoted a specific type of art, that it could be like, that it should just be a room, because anything can happen in a room.
True. Now, so I'm going to assume that your husband is Vietnamese, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how many times I've done theater with someone who is Vietnamese?
How many times?
Who said? That's okay for all y'all who are listening. That's 0.
Yeah, there's a whole new generation coming up of Vietnamese artists who, you know, like Vius himself, my husband, was a refugee with his parents when he was really young. But, you know, the first generation, you know, they didn't really have the opportunities to be, to pursue the arts as much because they just sort of had to, you know, get by and make what they could. But now his generation, you know, he's been in Miss Saigon a number of times, as you can imagine. And he learned when he was in a production of it a little while back that he was actually the first Vietnamese person to play the Vietnamese role of the engineer ever.
Because usually in the past, they would have, you know how Hollywood and major production companies are very whitewashed, right? Probably have people do their eyes like this and do it and go and pretend to be Asian or Vietnamese or anything like this. So that's why with my play, Aprenda Espanol, going out November 6th on Zoom and YouTube. See what I just did there? That's how you promote. Anyway, I love it. That's why in my play, I said to myself, I am not going to do it unless I have legit Hispanic people. I am not going to go out. I'm not going to cast a bunch of black people and say, hey, we're all black Hispanics or black Latinos, which those people do exist, but that wasn't this. And I don't believe in pretending. I wasn't going to go out and I wasn't going to put this play up until I had actual Hispanic people, because having someone of a different ethnic group play someone else, I mean, yeah, acting is acting, but that's where the line has to be drawn.
There's nothing wrong with being authentic. Nothing whatsoever. It's just like with the African folk tale that we're doing on the 30th, when Creative Greensboro, which I'm a part of, which is part of City Arts in Greensboro, North Carolina, when Randy decided to write an adaptation of this book. Randy is a white guy. And I've worked with him for years. I love Randy. He's my baby sugar pie, honey. He's a great technical, and you know that yourself, Adrian.
I do. I know Randy very well.
And when he decided to do this, he came to me. He said, "Could scrap metal help us with this?" He said, "Because I believe truly that it should be done by African Americans because it's an African folk tale." And I understood exactly what he meant, because I did this same story adaptation about 10, 15 years ago with an elementary school. So I understand where you're coming from with that. It's like trying to do an August Wilson playing you cast white people. It wouldn't make any sense. You were like, they have no idea what's going on or what's happening.
I will protest that play. I will throw stank bombs in that play.
Right. It's just certain things that you can't do. It's just like when you're portraying real people. You know what I'm saying? If you're portraying Bessie Smith, you can't have a white woman come and be Bessie Smith because Bessie Smith was black.
Let's talk about that though. Because while you're saying that, and I believe it's very true, still Hamilton is the most popular musical right now, and there are black people playing white roles.
Well, I can't speak on that too much because I have not seen it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, boo, but I have not.
Alex
Even though I have a couple of people that I know personally who is in it, I have not seen it. But me being a historian as well as an artist, I do know the story and know what it consists of. But you also have to remember about the twist with this. We're talking about a black and white couple who are producing children. So some of these things you have to look at as historical times as well, because guess what? You might have been a mulatto and could pass for white, or you could have been a mulatto that looked black. And so those things are a little bit different. So you would have to get into the character analysis to make sure that if you did, revert the roles, that it could work either way. And if you did not do that, then you need to be slapped in the face. But sometimes that kind of thing does happen. You know what I'm saying? Where it crosses the line in those aspects. And then there are roles where it doesn't matter whether you're black or white or whoever you are. It's just a human role. So you need to know the difference.
I can say that. Speaking of Randy, shout out to Randy. What's up, Alex?
Sorry, go ahead. I'll tell you after that. Go ahead.
Man, I'm not that podcast host who talk all daggone time. Talk, dang it.
No, that's fine, because you had your thought. She just got me going with it popped into my head the whole thing with, I think it was at the beginning of this year or so, like with the hairspray, that the cast was gonna be white, and then there was this whole argument thing. For me personally, which one of my friends asked me the other day, just to not to offend anybody or anything like that, for In the Heights, that particular musical, a few months ago, I saw like this, I don't know if it was high school or what it was, but it was like this, it was just terrible.
In Chicago,
like,
yeah,
it was just terrible. Like, I mean, I feel there's certain stories, certain characters that should just be the same way that it's scripted, and I'm not against including like everybody, but particularly like within the height, for
There's
me it
certain
should be,
roles, yes.
yeah, it just should be Hispanic or with descendant. Like I saw the video and it was all these like, no offense to like white actors are great, but it was just sloppy and the singing and the choreo just looked like kindergarteners. Even kindergartens look better. I'm so sorry. It was just all over the place.
And the
Like I'm
thing
like,
that, and part of that is because it's done by the school system. They're not supposed to exclude anybody, and I understand that. But when you do the true nature of art, and when you're bringing theater about, you have to do the best that you can. I want to do West Side Story so bad. I love West Side Story. I grew up with West Side Story. I want to be Maria, but I am not Maria. You know what I'm saying? So I would be happy just directing it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, how do you pull this off? Because you have to tell this story, because this story is about racism and classism and these types of things. So how do you pull it off? Maybe you can pull it off black and white, but at the same time, you really can't, because when you start thinking about the songs and the things that's in the story, you have to have that Latino experience there. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. You have to have the white experience there, because Black folks, we won't thinking about no greases. We put grease in our hair every day. It don't bother us. That's how we make it lay down and look pretty.
Speaking of hair real quick.
You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of hair real quick. Just a little side note that don't really have anything to do with anything. I was just wondering, Miss Angie, how I look with my locks?
Ain't nobody studying you right now, okay? because
No.
I know that from my friends who are white, they was like, why are you putting all that stuff in your hair? I was like, this is what makes my hair look pretty. I want to know why you washing your hair every day. You washing everything out. This is what makes it does this and make it curly and make it, but it's because we are different. You know what I'm saying? So there are some roles, irregardless, you have to have the right people do it. Okay, don't make me go get my Jamaican black oil that I'm still
get
rubbing
it.
on my black
I got
head.
the castor oil
Okay,
right here.
yes, on my bald head. And so those are just cultural things that we know that you cannot replace. So there are some shows that I don't care what, it has to be the characters
Yeah.
that it's supposed to be. Yes, it definitely has to be. There are some shows that you can cross over, where it's just a human story, because I would love to do the Golden Girls black. I think that would be hilarious.
Oh yeah.
That would be great. Yeah, no, and I totally agree with you. And I mean, that's the whole like color conscious versus color blind casting, right? Yeah, where it's like you have to be conscious of the implications in your audience's mind, because you have to like be intentional about whenever you cast. And I don't know how you all might feel about this, but there are a lot of playwrights now writing new plays where they will write into the script. I think it was, I don't know, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but who wrote Viet Gone? Why is the name escaping me right now? That playwright, but he says like, these people should be Asian. I shouldn't even have to write that. Like, or this character should be played by a black person. I shouldn't have to write that, but I am, because I, don't even think about miscasting this.
Like the Joy Luck Club. You cannot do the Joy Luck Club without Asian people. It's not going to work. Because you don't understand their culture, and the reasons why they react the way that they do. It has to be.
Yeah, there was a kind of a controversy here, because there was a white director who was trying to direct August Wilson, and if I'm not Right. And if I'm not mistaken, August Wilson was smart and wrote it into his will for his estate that there could only be black directors.
Only black directors. That got it.
Okay. Now I have done a show
I'm about to have a heart attack up in
with
here.
I know, right?
I've done a show with a white director who tried to do August Wilson, and there were certain things that he wanted us to do and say, and we finally just had to tell him, baby, we don't mean no harm, but we not finna talk to Big Mama like that, because Big Mama gonna slap us down and we gonna be in the other room trying to figure out how we got there. And we don't do that. We don't care how old they are, how old we are, that it just doesn't happen in our culture. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to talk to her that way. Are we mad at her? Yes. Are we gonna talk about her behind her back? Oh yes. Oh, the grandchildren and the cousins. We're gonna talk about all of them. But are we going to do it in their face? No, it's not going to happen. And I had a director who threw a hissy fit and everything because of how nasty he wanted us to be. And we're like, it's not going to happen. And the same thing happened with us for Still Away. When Stella is wanting Tracy Ada to do what she say, and they wanted Tracy Ada to go off. I'm like, no. I said, especially not during the 1930s and 40s. Oh, no. She would have never done that. Well, I don't understand why, but I mean, some things are just culturally that it just would not happen.
So I want to say this. I want to say something. I want to say two things real quick. Number one, I was once cast as a Nazi. No. Number two, no, I can't be no daggone Nazi.
What?
I know
I
that.
have
I mean,
a story.
because they're trying to kill you.
I have a story about something, but go ahead. Sorry.
Tell your
I was
story, and then I'm gonna get to Tiffany because she ain't said nothing in the past 10 minutes.
So I was actually cast as a Nazi for a show. The show is called Bent, and it was funny because I'm laughing now because of the reaction that I got.
Bit kind of
Obviously,
like a farce.
Oh
say that
no,
one more time.
Bent is
No,
not a
this
farce.
is-
Bent is a very serious
no.
play. It's a very serious play.
It's super serious play. So this is the story of they were prisoners. Long story short, they were prisoners. They fall in love with this couple of guys. Long story short, I'm supposed to be like the right hand man of the bad guy. Long story short, I'm the guy who like shoot one of the leads at the end, and it was hard as an actor to do that because I got days that I'm really nice. Okay, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, but anyways, it was hard for my friends that were Jewish because obviously, history. So I knew that I did a great job because of the fact that I was so super serious, completely different person that I am. But the reaction that I'm laughing now, we did this at Olmsted United Church of Christ with the Justice Theater Project. And as I was changing into my outfit to be a Nazi guard, I have one of the kids from one of the other actors, I think, or like just somebody from church, saying it's like, oh my gosh, was this like a black Nazi? I'm like, I don't know. But I'm representing one, so somehow if they were or not, I am here right now. We're gonna like make it happen. So yeah, that was my quick story. I mean, it was a lot. It was really emotional because I have one of my friends. She's Jewish, and I was looking for her after the show, but it didn't click to me how psychologically and
How it affected her.
physically, yeah, how it affected her. And I kind of like I was looking. She's like, I couldn't. You did such a great job, and I love you, but I just couldn't stay because of how everybody in the cast impacted it. Because I have to. That was like one of the first stage comeback that I have to do because I was just beating that out of this guy. So yeah, that was it was even hard because at rehearsal I was so concerned. They're like, Alex, you're supposed to beat him up, okay? He's supposed to bleed. And then it was, I mean, it was really profound, and it made me more empathetic and make me more want to know about more other cultures and how history plays into like theater and overall, our daily life. Because um, it took her a few days. I mean, she messaged me right after the show, but it was a tough show, like a tough um play to do. I mean, I don't know if I will do it again. That's how tough it was to like get and submerge into the character. And another funny moment on that, there's one part that like the bad guy, he's just giving just grief to one of the lead, and he's just coughing and coughing and coughing. One particular performer, I had a cold, so I'm like, when you're performing, you're like, you're trying to hold your cough. So I start in the middle of the thing. He's like, I'm gonna like kill you and this and that, and I'm like, so I'm like coughing, and like my other friend, he's just looking at me like he gave me that look like I'm gonna kill you right now. Why are you coughing? And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to hold it. I drank water and everything. So some people in the audience that they didn't know that story at all, they're like, oh, I thought you were gonna get killed too. So you killed that white guy, you were gonna kill by your own boss. So I'm like, well, that would have turned the story completely around. So I mean, but yeah, so I was a Nazi, so it's possible somehow. So yeah.
Dang. Well, you just proved my point wrong. Tiffany,
Yes.
in your many playwriting ventures, do you write roles that are as difficult for an actor to portray as a Nazi? Do you write roles that heavy, that villainous?
No, not yet. Not yet. I haven't. I don't think so. Hold on, let me think though.
I
No.
have. And was going up on November 6th on Zoom and YouTube.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and promote that. Promote that.
8 o'clock. There, I said it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying no, I haven't, not of yet though. But I want to though.
There were a couple storylines that you presented in some past works.
Well, like the one I was telling you about, church meeting gone wrong, that's basically about, when you at church and your pastor calls a meeting for, the different people that's over like the auxiliaries. So everything that could go wrong in the church meeting goes wrong in my play. Everything. I mean, like the usher, the praise and worship leader, the sound person, the deacon is stealing money, the trustee,
Missionary.
Yes, everything, they stealing money from the kids, the
kids.
Yes, the youth leader is really like on kind of slow, but it's a comedy play, but it's like I said, everything that can go wrong in a church meeting goes wrong in the play. So
Tiffany, have you ever thought about writing about church hurt?
You know what? And I have had church hurt previously before, and so I could write about that. Yes, because I have experienced myself.
Because church hurt is really deep. I don't know, Mackenzie, if you deal with that on your side, but I know that we do as Black people. We have a lot of church hurt because of guilt and expectations, and and those types of things, and because Miss Tiffany, you are focused, most of your stuff around church, that might be something that you might want to look into, because I think it would be powerful.
Yeah. Okay.
I know that if I was to put on a meeting going wrong, like you were mentioning, I would have to play the pastor, and I'd be like, "Well, looky here, you were no good Negroes, you no good Negroes. All of you make me sick, and I hope you won't be in heaven when I go." Right there.
Now, see, that's if you do on a comedy. Because see, you can do that same exact thing and be being serious without it being a comedy, without calling out anything. When you're just saying, Lord, have mercy. We got these sinners up in here. They don't know how to follow the word. They don't know what they need to do. You got the Catholics, you got the Methodists, you got the Baptists, you got the holiness. What we gonna do, Lord? We all got the same book and we can't come together. So you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So the way you presented it as more of a comedy, but you can also take it to a drama, because the truth of the matter is we all got the same book. We all got the same book. We just doing it all a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
I know that.
Go ahead, Tiffany. I'm sorry.
I was saying, I was just saying that in that play that I wrote, Church Meeting Gone Wrong, it's like the cast, well, in the scene that, you know, everybody was bickering back and forth, you know, fussing each other out, just trying to figure out, you know, where's the pastor at? The pastor, like a little spoiler alert, they was in that church meeting for hours, right? And the pastor never came, never showed up. He had an emergency. So, but it was like so much going on within the church meeting that they were just going back and forth. And, you know, it was a fight in the church meeting in this play. It was so much. It's really funny. But the pastor never showed up. He called,
like waiting for Godot.
So
I want to see that play.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah, I want to bring it back home too. I do, because a lot of people have been asking for it, you know, since the coronavirus came and all of that. But we do want to put it back on. We definitely.
Do you do it digitally?
When you do casting.
I would love to. Yeah, I thought about that.
Yeah, there's an amazing talk about Angela. You asked about, you know, the concept of the church hurt, and there's an amazing local playwright here in Kansas City who's done work now. She's had her work produced elsewhere, but her name is Priska Jabet Kendagor, and she's written a lot of incredible plays about that. She's really just like been extremely like has written a lot of plays recently that have really dealt with that issue in a really sensitive and really fascinating way. So I'd recommend checking her out.
Nancy, I was going to ask you, have you encountered religion in theater?
Theater as a religion, sometimes.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, no. What do you mean? Like in what sense?
Like plays that kind of like play upon that, like Jesus Christ Superstar, Godspell, even The Crucible.
Yeah.
You know, we did a Man Corner.
Yes, I remember that.
I saw that show.
Brother boxing and getting up in your face and talking junk to you.
Oh, he took so much pleasure in it. I had to choke him one time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I played
Oh my
Sister
God.
Margaret. I played Sister Margaret in that. And it was one of those pieces that showed how the pastor tries to take over what everybody's thinking, what everybody's feeling, and how everybody's supposed to live, and, you know, and that kind of stuff. And the pastor herself had skeletons and things that she was dealing with perfect, and nothing was wrong, and, you know, I'm the epitome of God, you know, that kind of thing. But it happens in all denominations.
So prior to that, I was Deacon Counterfeit in Miss Shonda Morris's play, Let the Church Say Amen. I was like the ultimate butthole, money stealing, flirting with the church secretary, deacon. It was my first villain role. I get arrested at the end. I was like, yo, I got to be.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And you can't even picture an incredible individual such as myself with great locked hair being something like that.
Don't even try it. Some of the most clean cuttest, nice lookingest is the most biggest con man.
I was wearing a low. I had low cut back at that time. So but yeah,
Who's my boy? Send that $1,000 vow. He's just as cute as he can be, hair laid to the side, all of that. He's sending you all the messages of Jesus, but he's still asking for that $1,000 vow.
gotta pay the building fund. You know what I'm saying? Gotta pay the building fund. But yeah, Mackenzie, like I was saying, have you ever done plays like that?
Oh yeah, lots of them. I just my mom's actually a high school theater director. Sometimes I help her out. She just did The Crucible. That was very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. It's super relevant to the current age, obviously. Yeah, and that was a really interesting experience. That and the playwright I was just talking about, Priska Jabet-Kendegor, is so great. She's just written
her name slower.
Priska Jabet-Kendegor, who's going to be a famous playwright. She's incredible, but she just wrote this play called The Holy Trinity. And it's about two men in the church who have had sort of a scandalous moment in the church, and then a woman who's been very active in the church, who they both end up having a relationship with, and it's about their relationship sort of as a 3-person thing. But then also
sound like some issues to me.
Yeah, but then also that and their relationship to like the church community. And the KC Public Theater here is going to do an online, I believe, version of that. So I'll let you know when that's going up. Because
I was going to say, really you have to let us know when that's happening so we can get a little peep in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be really good.
So right now from what I'm getting is me and Tiffany, we're playwrights. Me and Alex, we're actors.
Excuse me, I'm a playwright as well. Don't forget, darling.
And a historian.
Boom.
Angie, sheesh.
Boom, I love it.
And a historian.
Cowboy fans, dang.
Don't make me cut you by my boys in front of company.
And Miss Angie and Mackenzie have theater companies. So let me ask both of y'all, Scrap Metal and the Buffalo Room. Oh, let me say that one more time. The Scrap Metal and the Buffalo Room. How do y'all choose what play you want to put up? What play, what time you want to put up?
Go first, Mackenzie, because I've already talked too much.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, we operate a little bit differently because instead of being like a theater company who we only produce like our own plays in the space, or we only choose plays that are in the space, we do more of a curating function, which is that other companies, smaller companies, more mobile companies, companies with fewer resources that don't have spaces of their own can come in to our space and can produce their play, their new work, their reading, their workshop. And so what we do is they send in proposals, and then, you know, they tell us like what their goals are, what they want to do, what kind of audience they want to bring in. That we work with them in order to like give them the space and the lights, the sound, the rehearsal space, the resources that they need to make their production happen, or to take like kind of a risk and experiment, but at a lower cost.
Tiffany, I don't know about you, but I'm about ready to take her up on that too.
Right. That's right.
Okay,
I know.
So, go ahead, Miss Tiffany. I'll let you talk because I.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I do have Tiffany Person Production, so I will be getting my own theater soon. Look, I'm speaking that into existence.
I'll bring my theater. I'll bring my play to your theater and your theater and your theater.
Well, with Scrap Metal, our thing is that what we do is we train, we have classes, that kind of stuff to uplift and motivate but we also are community based. So if something is happening in the community and somebody say, you need to write a play about this, you need to do a play about this, we do an original piece about that particular play. We bring in writers to help us who coming from the community, and we also try to focus on other playwrights who are not getting the exposure that they need to, or not being like females or people of different races, because everybody goes through the same thing. Every year we're going to have Black Nativity, the Nutcracker, Christmas Carol. Can we have something else, other than just those things? So we like to create original stuff. So Scrap Metal does a lot of original material, and it usually comes from us getting together with the people from the community who come and tell us this is an issue, this is a problem. Like, for example, of course we have a Black Lives Matter, from back in the day when it first started with Sandra Bland, all that kind of stuff before we even got here. All we have to do now is just add to that particular show of things that has happened. But we've also have a breast cancer show where we went out and we literally interviewed women who had been through breast cancer, and men, because nobody ever think about the men who have gone through breast cancer. So we've interviewed men and women, and we built a whole show around that. And when we do that show, we try to do it either in October or during the early summer when they have their first walk. And what we try to do is have free mammograms and all those types of things set up. So at the same time that you come to see the show, you're also being able to have these things done if you need to, because it was such a big deal. And most people don't even know that Black women breasts are more dense than white women. And so it's harder to detect in Black women than it is in white women. So sometimes it goes misdiagnosed. So we brought attention to all of those types of things to help build that up. So we try to relate to what the community wants and what the community needs. And that's on the side of the whole community. And then we start to focus on the children, where we do adaptations of certain books, and we let them write stuff and get stuff out that they need to do so that we can produce it so that they can express their voices and how they feel and what's going on and what they're seeing that's going around. You would be really surprised that it is easier to work with the children than the adults.
Oh yes, I believe that.
100%.
Yes. And they will
Yes.
bring more because of their imagination. They will bring more to you, to feed to you, to help you to build it and to bring it up. And so those are some of the things that that we do, as well as training and as well as mentoring, because I like to use theater as therapy, to help people come out. You're scared to move, you're shaming your body, all this stuff. No. Well, you can't want to be on stage, because when you're on stage, you got to let it all hang out. You got to come into your divaness. You got to come into your kingness. You got to, come into these things, because if this is what you really want to do, you got to put yourself on the front line, and it gives them confidence and motivation, those types of things. And and that's the thing that you do. And like, I know Adrian is always hollering about me, but because I see how hungry and thirsty he is and how much he wants to learn and want to do, I jump on him all the time. Sometimes he leaves me, he is so pissed off. He's like, I want to just run over her with the car. But the next day he gets what I said to him, because I want him to be better, because I know this is his passion and this is his love. So if this is going to be your passion and your love, well, guess what? I can't sugarcoat it. I am the high school teacher that's got to go ahead and take, no, boo-boo, that don't work. We got to do this. And one thing I will say about Adrian, he will take a lesson and he will run with that lesson. He might be mad about how he got it at first, But he will take it and he will mold it and he will work it and he will do it. I have to give him that. That's why when he called me, I'm like, okay, I'm coming. Because I know that he will take the lesson and he will improve on it. Everybody doesn't do that, especially this day and time. You got so many people think they don't need a class. They don't need to do that. I can YouTube it. I can do it. No, no, baby. You need a teacher to tell you that no. I'm sorry. Teacher, coach, whatever you want to call us, it still comes out to the same thing. Teaching. No, baby. That's not what they're looking for. And film is definitely different from theater. And that is the hardest thing to get people to understand. It's all acting, but it's a different way of presentation.
Well, thank you for that, Miss Angie. And I promise everybody, I did not pay her any money to say that. So
none. I'm still waiting for a check.
That's great.
On my for great cast members in my play Aprenda Espanol, which is going up November 6th, 8 p.m. on Zoom and YouTube.
Yes, and on the 30th for scrapmetal.net and Creative Greensboro, we are doing a Nazis stories. It's an African American folktale story that the kids will love. It is really fun. So if you can, please, click and come in and watch Facebook Live. I think that your children will love it to come in and hear the stories. It tells how we got our stories from the gods.
Was that on the 30th of this month?
Yes, 30th of this month. Yes, it is.
Great.
You asking about her play? You ain't asking about my play.
You already gave the information. Don't make me scratch you in front of company.
Cowboys.
Yes.
Anyway.
Okay, see, that's all he got to do is talk about the Cowboys, but we got 5 rings. All our fingers is full.
Did any of them rings come during the past 2 decades?
Don't matter. We got them, and they worth money.
Speaking of things that are worth money, so one thing that I learned while doing theater, a man by the name of Brian Conger once said to me, "You want to make money? Don't do theater." So we can all agree that this art that has completely absorbed us and whatnot, mentally and physically and spiritually, is mostly a labor of love, right? I know me personally, I've become so engulfed with theater that I can't live without it. I mean, that it's a part of who I am. All these are posters of plays that I've been in. It's a part of who I am. Like when like I don't have any kids right now, but when I have my first child, it's gonna be a musical moment. It's gonna be like, push baby push, oh look at pretty daughter, something like that.
The mama might not agree with you. I do understand what you're saying, because I'm about to die over here, because even though I write, direct, and produce and all that, I'm an actress first, and I'm about to die that I have not been on the stage in 6 months. So I do understand what you're saying, because it's also a part of therapy for me too, to get that stuff out and to be able to. And my theater family is different from my regular family, so certain things that they'll put up with, my family is like, okay, she tripping.
So true. It's so true. Yeah. And it's like I think of it at least as like, it's like a vocation. It's like a calling. We talk about religion in theater. It's like something that you feel called to do. And that, there's that piece of advice that people give to people who do theater is like, if you are able to do anything else with your life and be happy, then you should do that. Yeah. But if you can't, and you can only do this to be happy, and you can't live without it, then that's just what you're called to do. And that's part of like what you were talking about, Angela, like giving back to the community, being responsive to the community, bringing people in the community together. Like it is a higher calling, I feel like, in a lot. I mean, you know, I can get, that sounds sort of, you know, of me.
But no, but it's true. It's true. Because I you know, when I was getting ready to get married, I told my husband, I said, okay, I'm going to tell you now, I'm never going to stop doing theater, whether I'm getting paid for it or not. It's going to be long hours, all this kind of stuff. If you can't deal with that and you don't want me to do it, I can't. I have to do this. This is who I am, a part of who I am, and I'm always going to do it. Now, do I want a check? Of course, I want a check, you know, just like anybody else. But I will not sit here and tell you that I will not go downtown and do a community theater show. Let it be one of my favorite shows. I'm on my way downtown to go get that role from somebody who probably needs the experience. I'm sorry, I'm coming, you know, but I would do this whether I got paid for it or not. And it's in my soul and it's in my spirit. And most of us are that way who do this.
What about you, Alex? What about you, Alex?
I love theater. It's kind of like, which many people are like, oh, you're an introvert, because you know you always got like this thing in school that you're like, okay, I'm not good at sport, I'm not good at this, so what am I good at? And for me, it just kind of went of like seeing, you know, growing up, you see all these people on stage, and you're like, oh, I think that I could do it, but you don't know that you could do it until you actually step into an audition. You get cast, and you get all these emotions coming to you. I don't know. It's one of those feelings that you have that it's hard to explain once you're on stage and you feel the need. And it's even, you know, even though it's not the same thing when you do film, because you don't have like the reaction and you don't feed from the audience. So for me, like with this whole COVID thing, it's like I miss just having an audience though.
Yeah, that was one of the.
We could do this like this. We could do this and people could see us and they could see us over there. But if we have like a whole panel that we have an audience, it will be a completely different experience.
Yeah, that was one of the strangest things.
I knew that I liked theater.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. I was just
so
lost in thoughts.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, but just that was one of the strangest things about doing an online show, that even though we felt like it had a really good rhythm and a really good flow, even without an audience, that the fact that there wasn't any like live responses, like you couldn't hear what got laughs or what, what people were, when it got quiet, right, is one of the most important things. You know, when you can hear a pin drop, you know that you have them. And like the best that we had was we broadcast on the Facebook Live, and we had this like, the stream of comments that people were making like in real time, which was really fun to watch people responding. It wasn't the same as having people, but it was really cool just to have that like that moment where we could see people reacting, and there was that at least, you know. So there was a little bit of that, but you're right, like it's really hard not to have that like circuit of like breathing in the same room together. And it's the hardest thing sometimes to be like, okay, what is the most dangerous situation right now? It's like, oh, it's the thing that we do for a living, that we, you know, depend on, is sharing the same breath and the same, you know, rasa and the same feelings with people in the same room together. And it's just so fundamental to us as humans, I feel. So that's what's made it really hard. Yeah, you're so right, Alex.
Yeah.
No,
well, also like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
You the guest, go ahead, man.
Well, the thing is, like, you know, when you're like with your family and non-theater people or artistic people, that you're like, oh my gosh, let me tell you about my show, and you're all like upbeat, and they're like, I don't like theater, I don't like all of this art, and you just kind of like,
just want to run them over with the car.
Yes. So you're gonna tell me spend 5 minutes telling you how I'm doing all of this, and you're just gonna be like, and then those are the people that as soon as they see your work, they're like, oh my gosh, I love theater. I'm like, well, I told you. Mm-hmm. You just have to experience for yourself.
Yes. Right.
What about you, Miss Tiffany?
Excuse me, I'm the host here. I was getting.
Look, you already
She's
know.
the
You
co-host.
already know. I'll jump in there in a minute.
Okay, this
She's
called
your
Angie.
co-host, okay?
The answer
Co-host.
Angie.
I'm ready. I'm ready for things to get back to normal because of I got so much stuff that I need to put out, and I want to put it out on the stage with with the audience and everything. So I'm ready to get back to it. Just taking this much time off, it's just like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? When is things gonna get back to normal? But we just gotta do what we gotta do until that time comes. I'm gonna try to do some other avenues as far as get my plays just online and just to see how that would do. But I'm ready. Writing has been my passion since like I said before, I was a preteen. So I've been I just gotta write something and just put it out, write something and put it out. And so like y'all was promoting and plugging in your stuff. Let me plug in this real quick. Eliza's Guardian Angel, my children's book, is out and is available on Amazon.com. And also I will be in the process of writing the play for that book as well. So it's going to be Eliza's Guardian Angel stage play.
Wow. That's
Nice.
incredible. That's really great.
Thank you.
Yes. But because I missed the stage too, and I understand what Alex is saying. It's that instant gratification, that feedback that lets you know that you did a good job, or you're like, dang, I missed it tonight. I didn't hit it just right. They didn't laugh like last night. That kind of stuff. Because I'm an actress first, so I do understand that. And I also would like to, thank Adrian for bringing this forum to us so that we could all get together, talk, and plug our stuff that we have going on. Because one thing I can say about Adrian, I don't care how many times somebody tell him no, he keeps moving forward. And I'm very proud of him for doing that. He don't stop. And I love that spirit that he has. So make sure, guys, that you put your things in the feed so that he knows what's going on. Because trust me, he will push your stuff for you because you've been here for him. I have to say that about him. He may be young, but don't sleep on him.
I'm 35.
Like I said. Okay, like I said. Don't make me turn mama on you.
I appreciate those.
But he does. He continues to push forward. He breaks those boundaries. Whenever somebody tell him no, he find a window when the door gets shut. And I will give him that every day. He's the person that when rehearsal starts, he's there early. He's there and won't know where everybody else is at. I will always give him that. He's always on point. He's always trying to do more and to improve himself. And I love that about him. Yes, I do love that about you, which is why when you call me and I'm available, that's why I show up for you, because of what you do. And I just wanted to give you that appreciation because I know you don't always get what you need, which is like most artists, we don't get what we need. So we have to love each other.
If there is no other art form that involves taking chicken crap and making a chicken salad, it's ours.
Okay.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Okay, because I will kill the chicken, pluck the chicken, cook the chicken, chop it up, and make chicken salad. I'm country.
Me too. I'm a country girl too. So.
Even Alex, you got that little Panamanian country going on.
I love his accent. Hush. I like it when he talks.
I mean, well, now that you, okay, sorry.
Now he's embarrassed.
Well, since I'm from Panama City, I was not used to, first time coming here, I was not used to people being nice. Not that Panamanian people are rude, but working in the school system, I have one of my coworkers. She unfortunately passed away like years ago, but she will tell me like there's these things that tickles me a little bit. like bless your heart. I kind of learned the hard way of when people are like, oh, bless your heart. So long story short, I have to Google it. I'm like, I appreciate the blessing, but that's a lot of blessing. I don't know if there's a limit in between. So I Google it. I'm like, oh, the way she said it. Oh, yeah, that was not
Yeah,
nice.
depending on the tone, depending on the tone, depending on,
Yeah.
especially in the South.
Everything depends. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
especially.
especially in the South. If oh, bless your heart. That means,
Right.
baby, you special.
Right.
And we're just gonna let that go. But if you get bless your heart, baby, that we really getting your bless. But if you get that other one, okay.
Bless your little heart.
Yeah.
That's just
It's just like when you say, oh, she's so cute. You know, because you don't want to tell them that they baby ugly. Oh,
Yes.
she's so cute. You know, and you go on and you keep rolling. You don't say nothing else, and you keep moving.
Yes.
But that's
Or
a
there's
southern.
just a pause that you're like, yeah.
baby, it's
So
tough.
yeah,
You know, the
I'm a city boy. So yeah, but I appreciate the country. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Come on, get with the country so you can get you some good food.
Right.
Oh, Alex, how you gonna say that you a city boy and you in Cary country?
You got to remember now. You got to remember now where Cary is at. Cary is where the money is off the outside of Raleigh. Okay, so it's a little bit different. You know, I'm from down them parts. He down there with the money in Cary. I might have to introduce you to my daughter. How old are you?
How old do I look?
I say about 30, 35.
Oh, a little bit less.
Ooh, that makes it even better.
23, 22.
Oh gosh, no, I'm not that young. No, I'm not that young. I'm not that young. I'm 28.
Oh yeah, I might have to introduce you to my daughter because she down in Cary too. Hey.
Our next episode is where all the love talk is going to take place. Now, as we start to wrap this up, I meant to ask you, Mackenzie.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of theater in Missouri, I'm thinking, the name that comes to my mind.
What's that?
Tom Hanks. Didn't he start off in the theater in Missouri?
Tom Hanks. I don't know. If he did, I'd be very surprised. Maybe it's something I don't know about my own state.
I don't know.
Well,
Like the movie actor Tom Hanks?
No, I'm talking about the underground worker Tom Hanks. Yes, the actor. Forrest Gump, Mr. Rogers, Sully, who are all that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm afraid. I'm looking it up. Let's see.
Because I
Google
think he used to do in Missouri before he hit it big.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That would be a big surprise.
That will be something worth Googling.
Or maybe, yeah, I'm looking
Let's go to
for
the
it. Yeah, let's go to the Google.
Because Tom Hanks is one of my favorite
It
actors.
says he was born in California. I know that, who is it? Who is on Mad Men? John Hamm is from St. Louis.
Yeah. I think St. Louis. I think Louis Armstrong. I think the Rams, even though they're in Los Angeles now. And
That's right. We lost the Rams. We still have the Chiefs, though.
Yeah,
Nobody ever had the Rams. Nobody. Nobody.
Lindsay, while we're going to the Google, tell us about the theater scene in Missouri.
So we have big cities on either side, obviously. There's Kansas City, where I'm at, and then there's St. Louis. There's a thriving theater scene in both cities, and a lot of cross city. The playwright I mentioned earlier, Priska, she's doing her play in St. Louis and Kansas City. So that's a great relationship that our cities have. We've got a number of big theaters. We also have it's kind of been a golden age of theater here in Kansas City, where we've had just a lot of independent companies popping up, smaller companies, medium-sized companies, companies that are really experimenting with different forms. Kansas City Public Theater is a new theater that I've worked with, and they come to places, to communities where they feel like their work will have the most impact, rather than having a permanent place, which is amazing. And they do, like, you know, Angela, you were talking about, they're really centered on being responsive to community and fulfilling needs, and making sure that all their shows are free completely to the public. And they work on like a donation model from people, you know, who can donate or to give grants or that kind of thing, which is incredible.
That's
it's really
nice.
Great.
That's nice to be able to have free shows.
Yeah, and there are a lot of companies now that are really specifically elevating local original works, as well as specifically like playwrights of color and women playwrights. And it's kind of a great place for a playwright to live right now. And there are a lot of great ones that are here. Michelle Tyreen Johnson is another one who is local, and she's written an incredible play about the Green Book. And she's been all over the place, but she lives here in Kansas City. And so, yeah, it's a playwrights town, we like to say.
Guys, please make sure you put all your information in the feed, in the messenger feed, so that we can all connect with each other. Adrian, thank you so much for bringing us all together, because this is how we keep art alive.
That's right.
This is how we keep it alive. So please put your information in. I'll make sure I put mine in so that we can all share together. Adrian, thank you so much for this. You don't realize how important it is what you're doing with bringing us together.
Yes.
It's so great to get to know all of you.
Thank you so much. Same here.
Very welcome.
Thank you so much.
Me and Alex were co-hosting this very, very short-lived radio program called ADQ'S Stage Door, where we talk theater on Wednesdays. But that fell through. But I was like, yo, I want to keep that concept and just put it on my podcast. So I decided weekly, usually on Mondays, but we did Thursday because, you know, store brand business drill knocked me the heck out. I want to talk theater weekly. So thank y'all for joining me. Now, before we go, I'm going to go by everybody. You got to give what you have coming up and your contact information. So let's see. Let's go in ladies first. Tiffany.
Okay, hold on. I was trying to. Okay. So you said my contact information and
what I have up, and then your contact information.
Okay, so like I said before, my book, children's book, Eliza's Guardian Angel, is out on Amazon right now for $11.99, and I do have 2 plays coming up: the Inbox stage play and the Prodigal Son. Hopefully next year. So, well, it will be next year. So I'm speaking that. And also, I have wrote a play. I'm in the process of writing it now. It's from my book, Eliza's Guardian Angel. It's going to be a stage play as well. So those are the couple things that I do have coming up. I just left North Carolina for my book signing last weekend, and it turned out really well. I sold out all my books. So that was truly a blessing. Yes. And so that's the things that I do have coming up. You can follow me on Facebook, Tiffany Person, on Instagram, Tiffany Person Productions, and my email is passionatewriter1978@gmail.com.
What was I doing in 1978?
Oh, don't know.
Trying to be born.
So what you trying to say?
Oh.
I'm trying to say, Mackenzie, you next. That's what
Yeah, Mackenzie Goodwin Tran. I'm a director, actor, voiceover producer, and co-curator of the Buffalo Room space here in Kansas City, Missouri. in Westport. And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Buffalo Room KC. Our email address is buffaloroomkc@gmail.com.
All right, Miss Angie.
Okay, so I am Scrap Metal, SCRAPMETTLE.net. That's our website. As I've already said, we write, produce, edit. We have acting classes, all the whole 9 yards. I'm an actress myself, as well as a producer and a business owner with my partner, Carrie Mubarak. We've been in proper business, I would say, for 10 to 15 years, but a little longer than that from where we started from. And what we have coming up is with Creative Greensboro, which used to be City Arts of Greensboro, is the Anansi Spider Stories on the 30th that your kids would love, on the 30th at 7 p.m. We will also be having table reads of 2 August Wilson plays in October. And Alex, we are always looking for men to come in and help us read. So, of course, Adrian, please put your arms down. So please make sure all of you ladies and gentlemen in the messenger feed, please put your email addresses, your websites and things in there like that so that we can contact you and reach out to you and invite you to the pages of the things that we're doing. Actress Have Bags will travel, just so that you know that as well. And this has really been a great podcast tonight. So I'm glad to meet you all. And I wish you all much, much, much success. And hopefully we'll be working together soon. Because I'll come where you at, Mackenzie. If it's for the
Please
right
do.
role, I will come. I just need some floor space, some tequila, and a pillow. That's it.
We got a spare room. I'd love to have you.
All right.
Anytime.
Before I get to Alex, real quick, Miss Angie. So you've been plugging everything else you're involved in, but you ain't said nothing about Prenda Espanol. You are in Prenda Espanol.
I'm letting you promote that. That's your show, baby.
But you're in it. Real quick, say
yes,
what you
I am. I am in it. Yes, I am. I'm going in, and he gonna let me cause a little confusion, but not much. But that's your show to promote. I've already talked too much tonight as it is, so you need to promote your show and tell them who I am and all that stuff. That's your show, so I don't want to step on your toes.
Well, before I do promote my show, I want Alex to promote himself.
All right, Mr. Alex.
Sorry, I just literally got distracted because something popped up in my phone. So sorry. So I'm Alex Lewis. I'm an actor, singer, and photographer. You can get in contact with me on my website, alexlightup.com. And I don't have anything coming up. I keep auditioning, so something will come up. But thank you so much for having me, though. And I'm so grateful that I got to meet you and see like theater people. I miss theater people. So and creative people overall. So it's been a pleasure to get to know you all, and let's keep in contact.
Likewise, agreed.
And
sorry, I keep looking at the thing that popped up. I got distracted really quick.
Oh, that's probably with me.
So
information knows. Now, if you want to hit me up, you hit me up. My email is adq4christ@gmail.com. You can email me, and I could tell you about Aprenda Espanol, November 6th, 8 p.m., Zoom and YouTube. You could hit me up. You can hit me up at Dion Chocolate God on Instagram, where you can see pictures of Aprenda Espanol, which is going to be at 8 o'clock, Zoom and Facebook, Zoom and YouTube, 8 o'clock, November 6th. You can hit me up on Twitter, Avenue ADQ_85. I will tweet about Aprenda Espanol, which will be going up at 8 o'clock, November 6th, on YouTube and Zoom. And you can hit me up on Facebook. My name is Adrian Dion Quarles, ADRIANDIONQUARLES. Please don't call the CIA on me. But unless you want to call them and tell them about Aprenda Espanol, which is going up 8 o'clock, November 6th, Zoom and YouTube. Here's why it's going up on November 6th. Because November 2nd is the Hispanic Day of the Dead, major holiday for all of them, right? November 3rd is the American Day of the Dead, aka Election Day. Someone gonna want to do some damage, whether it's Biden or Trump. So we're gonna need we're gonna need November 4th and 5th to recuperate. And then November 6th come around, let's all come together, show love, and watch Aprender Espanol, directed by me, and I'm acting in it. Miss Angie's in it. And we got some really dope actors, Chris Chavez, Luisa Cortez, Jovita Molina, Carolina Perez, Dagon, you know what I'm saying? My man Stephen Brewer, my man Stephen Brewer, you know what I'm saying? Tia Alexander, and this incredible Cowboys fan right here.
Cowboys. Oh my God.
Not me, Miss Angie.
Oh. Okay.
I cheered for Deion Sanders during his Cowboys, but then the Panthers came along and God showed me a better way. I tie my bow tie, retie my bow tie.
Miss Tiffany, I'm gonna have to throw a rock at you because I'm Cowboys for life, honey. That hard.
Oh no!
Don't make me put my gear on the next time we get to talking because I'll be fully clothed from head to toe.
So
49ers all day. 49ers.
What?
Yeah, that's where my husband, he loves the 49ers.
Oh,
yeah.
Lord. You got to feed him something else, Mackenzie. You got to feed him something else.
Panthers. Everybody knows all about the Panthers.
Ain't nobody studying them kitty cats.
Oh.
Oh. That's why y'all ain't won.
All right, let's keep it theater. Let's keep it theater.
Yes.
Alex said, let's bring it back to the theater.
Alex bringing peace. Alex is the
Let's go
peacemaker.
back to the theater. Yes.
Well,
that means Alex don't care.
Enough going on.
Thank y'all for
I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not a sport fan.
What, Alex?
It's all right.
I'm not really a sport fan. I prefer to play it myself. That's just me.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
You just be on my side, Alex. That's all
That's
that
all.
matters. Just be on my side.
There you go. I got you.
No, Alex. No.
Okay, keep on. I'm gonna throw a rock over there.
Them cowgirls. No, that's
Oh. See, after I done told you how cute you look, and then you gon' what? Okay, see.
I'm sorry, Miss Angie. I love you.
Just let y'all know my head wasn't always this big, but maybe you threw a rock at it, But anyway, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you all. Thank you to Adrian for doing this.
Thank you, Adrian. Thank you. Nice to meet everyone.
Thank you.
Yes. Love you guys. Stay safe and healthy.
Yes, you too. Coming up next, I'm going to be chatting it up with Tamika B. Wells. We're going to be talking about Black love and Black relationships. But that'll be in a few minutes. Y'all go ahead, get some coffee, do some push-ups, pee on wipe your behind with a Cowboys jersey. This has been ADQ's Renaissance.
See, you trying to get cut. You trying to get cut. Keep on. All right. Good night, guys. Don't forget to put your information into the messenger feed so that we can be in contact with each other. And thanks again, Adrian. This has been great.
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Angie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, all.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
Art changes lives.
Thank you.
That's right.
Yes.